Oh, yeah, so Randy gets helps him with the minutes.
Makes sense.
Oh, goodness, I got too much stuff open, obviously.
That's why I didn't share with you, Paul. Got too much stuff.
Too much stuff.
Can you see
There
that?
you go. There you go.
Yeah, great.
Short. Wasn't a lot of business in July. So we had two deposits with dues. So 15 people have already paid their dues. That's pretty good.
Good.
And then we had the big semi-annual expenses, other than our local expenses, are the district. So it's $928 for the district, about twice a year, about that much twice a year. And the international dues are more than most people might think. And Randy, if you really want to continue putting this kind of information on the quarterly bills, you need to refigure. I'll send you, if you want me to, I'll send you what I think the 6 months from now will be in January. It would probably, there's probably some charges on this bill that aren't on the next one, like maybe the premiums for the liability insurance and things like that. I'm not sure how often they charge that.
Well, unless we change the total, I'll just leave it at $70, which is where it is.
Well, oh yeah, well, yeah, we can't change the dues without board action. But you break it down into how much is dues, international dues and stuff like that on the bill, which I doubt if anybody even looks at, but.
No, it's not. I don't even do that anymore.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
just put in the $70 and then the
Good.
$100.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Paul, question.
Yeah.
Those that money is for the operation of headquarters, not for any foundation stuff. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Foundation just goes under contribution fund.
Okay.
Right. And we've made our big, we made the big foundation contributions. We make those twice a year, in December and in June. And so that won't come up till December again. We had more money come in from raffle proceeds. I still need to figure what our total profit was on the raffle, but obviously it was really good.
It was $14,000.
Approximately, yeah. And then we've already gotten $500 from the Exmoor Club for the district project. I haven't seen any bills for that yet. And then we put Happy Dollars under a contribution fund now, and we'll keep doing that as long as we maintain a good balance in our operating fund. So that leaves us at the end of July with a little better than $9,000 in our operating fund and a little better than $18,000 in our contribution fund.
Paul, did you and Randy get it straightened out as far as what Regina's final?
Yeah. He sent me an
Oh,
yeah.
email. So
We're good.
I don't think I've had a chance to answer yet, but so that's fine. Yeah, I overlooked the fact that the $25 was included.
Okay. All right, any questions on the first month's financial report?
So you also keep track of our membership on our monthly statement, and as of August 1st, down to 35 now.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
I just did.
Second,
Okay,
Bill Payne, second.
Okay. Gotcha.
all right.
Got a vote.
And next item,
We need
You
a
wanna vote?
vote.
okay, all those in favor? Aye.
All right.
Aye.
I will say, by the way, that I do put the monthly bank statement in Dropbox, so it's available for any board member to look at if you want.
Okay. And just to make it official for this, for the September 7th or the 14th, There's been a little bit of, not hesitancy, but questions about should we start the day after Labor Day at the coffee house, or maybe give it a week so that maybe Roberta has a little wind down time before ramping up for us to come in on the 14th. So what's everybody think? Should we go the day after Labor Day and make that our first meeting, or give her?
I'll just say that I don't think you need to worry about Roberta in the equation, because I talked with her yesterday, and she doesn't care whether it's that day or I think the next one will be the 15th. Either one's fine with her.
Okay,
I want to do, I've been telling everybody the day after Labor Day.
okay, well, some people are traveling too, so.
So, we'll always have that. But I want to get going.
Okay.
I mean,
Um,
that's one opinion.
Yeah, is everybody good with the 7th then? Or would you rather be the 14th? Anybody? Okay, how many are for the 7th, just to get a count?
It doesn't matter to me. I mean, either
Doesn't
one.
matter.
All right, anybody prefer the 14th? All right, looks like we're gonna go the 7th then.
Okay.
David
Why don't you
didn't
let
say
Roberta
anything.
know when you send her the report? The other
Hey,
next
Cavler, are you in the meeting or not?
He's muted.
I'll move.
Okay. All right, we'll gear up for the 7th. Paul did get a quote on meal costs, so it'll be $14 per person for the weekly meetings. And that'd be what, Paul, 20 minimum people?
Well, that's what I told Roberta, and she didn't, she thought that was fine.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm a little worried that we might not get 20, but
right,
that's what I told her.
yeah,
So, I mean, and then my recommendation, I guess the board needs to decide this too, is how to handle the cost of the meals for the members that attend. And I would propose that when they attend, and Randy keeps track of the attendance, you just add that to their dues.
That'll go in the dues for the second quarter.
Right.
That's the only.
And then,
the
and then
same
we'll
thing.
need to just,
Yeah, okay.
we'll need to decide when we get together and do the budget, which I think we ought to try to do between now and the next meeting. If the overall dues will change, structure will change.
okay,
Paul, you're concerned about getting at least 20 people out to our first in-person meeting. I share that concern. I think we ought to have a full press telephone buddy campaign to, personally call those people who've never been on a Zoom call. They won't know otherwise unless they read the newsletter. So maybe between now and the 31st, we organize that among the membership.
Good idea.
one other thing I wanted to bring up related to this, somewhat going back to in-person meeting. We have 3 people who have joined the Zoom meetings that likely will not be attending in person. So Mary, Diane, and Tina. She doesn't attend much, but when she does attend, it's always a Zoom meeting. So we talked about having some type of combined meeting in the future, maybe. We don't need to address that today, but just kind of think about it. And I would not be surprised if our initial meetings in person are not going to be very many people.
I thought.
Unless we work at it. If they won't come if they don't know, but if we
Yeah.
call them, they'll probably come.
Yeah,
I
okay,
agree that ought to be a big effort to get people there, but I think we ought to combine it too. if they want, we had talked about that, is when we restart continuing to have Zoom as a part of it. And I think we should.
Okay,
Hey, can I say something, guys?
sure.
Um, my real estate office, we still require masks. I mean, honestly, I basically have been working out of my house because I am really careful about exposing myself to all these unmasked people in Cape Charles. So I've been working for going on 2 years now out of my house since the shutdown. I'm 20 miles from Cape Charles. So it's difficult, honestly. It's half a day out of my weekly schedule to drive down to Cape Charles and attend the meeting and then come home. I think this Zoom hookup is certainly something we need to really strongly. I strongly recommend we put it in place. So it's not going to be easy for me to get to these physical meetings, is the point I'm making, for several reasons. Okay, thank you.
I'm sympathetic with that. Diane Dawson's going to be the same. She's not going to attend unless it's a Zoom meeting. And Mary, you may be the same as well. And there could be others.
Well, I'll continue Zooming. We'll have to see how good Roberta's internet system is, but I'll make every effort to make it a Zoom meeting. It'll probably be ugly the first time we do it. And we'll get better at,
Well,
the optics and that.
One suggestion, if her internet connection is that poor, then somebody could use their telephone with a good Verizon connection. I would do it and set up a hotspot that then the Zoom, the computer could connect to.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. So maybe Paul, we can go over there early on the 7th and experiment and, figure a way to, I'm not sure if I should use my phone or my tablet to do it. So I like to, have a little experimenting. And the only time we can probably do that is to go in early on that Tuesday. But when we announce it, we should announce a Zoom option.
Right.
Mhm.
I have a couple of concerns. One is if you're using a laptop to set up the Zoom meeting and I'm sitting 15, 20 feet away from your laptop, I can't hear the people talking on Zoom.
Well, that's the thing. We've got to experiment with the optics and the sound in a room and that sort of thing. I'll
Right.
also give Onancock a call. They've been doing meetings on Zoom and live
Good
for
idea.
over a year.
Yeah, the other concern I have is it becomes too convenient to do Zoom and people just don't come to our in-person meetings. More and more people will just stay home and Zoom in. So you end up at the coffee house with maybe 5 people when everybody else is Zooming in. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm just saying that could happen.
Well,
Well,
we can make happen anything we want to make happen. And I
Yeah,
think if we go on a one-on-one with our buddies, particularly those who haven't been to a single Zoom meeting, we'll get them in there.
all right.
Well, the
Okay.
Zoom certainly makes it more convenient, obviously, and that's a possibility, Chuck. But on the other hand, the technology is the way of the future. I mean, things are changing. There are lots of organizations that do face-to-face meetings that'll be doing Zooms going forward because that's just the way things are these days. And obviously we can still do face-to-face and get as many people as we can there. I have a question for you, Bill. Are you using a camera or are you using just your computer or something for the video part?
Oh, my computer.
Your computer?
I don't have a camera.
Same
Okay.
here.
Okay.
I think most people are doing it that way.
If we
Okay,
have- If we have a combination Zoom meeting and we have one phone at the meeting that's logged in, we pass that phone around as you would a microphone as individuals speak. Otherwise, how is anyone watching on Zoom going to know what's being said
exactly.
by the
They-
participants?
they
You
are-
mostly are just hearing and the president is on the screen.
Yeah, they aren't going to hear us.
They're not
We're
gonna
not
hear
going to hear them
Unless
unless
you
we
pass
have
the phone around.
to.
If you pass the phone around, it would work, it would work. The
Yeah.
people that are Zooming will see the individual that's speaking and be able to hear them.
Well, let's let Bill talk to the, what is it, the Exmoor Club or the Onancock Club?
Oh, Nancock.
Yeah, we'll let Bill talk to them and see how they do it, and maybe they've got the magic formula.
Okay.
All right. We don't need to have that ready for the first meeting, but eventually we should.
Oh,
All
I
right.
thought you were going for the first meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you want to try it for the first meeting.
I mean,
okay.
if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
You can look like jerks on the first meeting, or you can look like jerks on the second meeting. But you gotta get started.
Yeah, we may be good enough to look like jerks at all our meetings.
Yeah, so, hey, it's just a Rotary meeting. It's not like,
Okay, Bill, I'll leave it up to you.
well,
And-
and Paul too, and,
Yeah, I can come over as well.
well, yeah, I would hope you would that morning, so you could
Yeah.
get familiar with, but we'll figure that out a couple of weeks from now.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna let Paul talk about this, and he already mentioned it, budget preparation. Obviously, I'm gonna be involved in that. Paul, who else do you typically work with as far as not necessarily a person's name, but their position to create the budget?
Well, okay, I kind of explained this to Chuck already. Chuck had initially, Chuck's initial thought, just off the top of his head, was to, a group get together in the coffee house and talk about it. What we've usually done is the first session is kind of a really nuts and bolts, nitty gritty. Okay, we did this much for dues. Now, how many folks are we going to have? What's our goal, and how much dues are we going to plan to collect, and how much are we going to be spending on badges? And I mean, it's kind of boring. I think you'd want a bigger group to talk about priorities for spending on service projects and things like that. But the first session has usually been a very small one, and just to kind of firm up the president's goals and what the implications of that are, and it's usually only been me and the president and maybe one other person. Of course, the former president, the immediate past president, can have valuable input, and so I don't think, I told Jack I don't think it ought to be a public meeting at the coffee house, because everybody's going to be sitting down and looking at a computer and looking at spreadsheets and kind of doing a nitty gritty analysis of things. It's not going to be all that interesting, and there's going to be nothing very controversial about it. And then the bigger discussion of priorities and that sort of thing can be done at the board level. you know, and generally after that first meeting, you know, the president might present some alternatives to the board. You know, we could do this or that, and what does the board think? So I would suggest just getting together like somebody's house, just maybe 3 people. Of course, anybody that wants to come can. We're not trying to exclude anybody. But it's not exactly what I think Chuck had initially envisioned and what some of the others might have initially.
Okay, Paul, I suggest that it be you, Reggie, and Chuck, cut to the chase, because Reggie has to start understanding the finances. You know where the bodies are buried, and Chuck is in charge.
Yeah.
So anybody disagree with that?
I don't, but we need to know what Reggie's availability is because he
Well,
is.
I figured, I didn't say when, I just said those are the 3 people.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm fine with it. You don't have any idea yet when it's going to be yet, right? Because
No. It's
okay.
we can do it whenever we want, but I think we ought to try to get it ready before by the next board meeting. And get it, of course, distributed in advance to the board, so anybody that wants to look at it more closely will have the opportunity.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, well, Chuck, you know, I can certainly coordinate with you when I'm available. The latter part of the month forward should not be a
Okay.
problem.
All right. Well, I would say we get together sometime early part of September, within maybe before the 2nd, 3rd week of September. And Paul, if you give us a layout of what your budgets look like. I've worked with budgeting on 2 fronts, capital budgets as well as operating budgets, where I worked before for a number of years. And I don't know whether you capitalize anything or everything appears to be operating budget, and you allocate funds to internal things as well as projects. So if we just kind of see a format of what the budget looks like from you, I think we can bang through it pretty quickly. All right. Reggie, I'll talk to you, and we're going to work around your schedule because I know you're in the middle of a move, and I know that's pretty hectic, but you'll be the key person. We'll try and schedule at your best convenience, okay?
Okay, and the move will be done, period,
Okay.
by the end of this month.
All right. Okay. Hopefully, right? Unless you break down somewhere and you need us to send you gift cards or something. Okay, we'll move on to the next thing. On the 3 club meeting, any other thoughts on that? I did send out the sign-up sheet. We've got a few sign-ups already, and hopefully that continues. Any questions about COVID, anything to do with that, and any worries or concerns?
On the picnic next week,
Yeah,
just to go back a little bit before we do the 3 club, I think that today maybe you should ask people to call their friends who have never, you know, been to a Zoom meeting, to tell them we're having the picnic. Because I bet you Eva does not know we're having a meeting on the 17th.
all right.
And she'd probably come if she knew.
Who's Eva's buddy?
Yeah, so, you know, we're not going to get everybody, but at least if we ask everybody, at least, you know, when you say call your buddy, it's nice, but if you have a reason to call your buddy, and we'll give them a good reason, and that's the Central Park picnic.
All right, well, I was going to send in the counts to Roberta this afternoon.
Well, it's one last shot.
All right.
And, you know, and if a few people come in, you call her and say, hey, look, you know, give us two more sandwiches.
All right. Okay, I'll bring it up at the meeting today.
Yeah.
My personal feelings on the whole situation with the rise of COVID Delta version is I'm vaccinated. I feel safe. The reason I got vaccinated is so I don't have to worry about getting the virus. And if I don't have to worry about getting the virus, I don't have to worry about spreading it to somebody else. So there is no mask mandate. Somebody's going to have to wrestle me to the ground to throw a mask on me. So I'm not inclined to wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask. If we make the meetings, these outside meetings required you wear a mask, I'm going to think about it. I might not want to come. So I'm thinking I might not be the only one. I don't know if we're getting ready to say, hey, if you come to these meetings, you need to wear a mask. Does anybody see that happening?
Well, outdoors, you don't need a mask,
Yeah.
but Paul says if we go into food line, we should put a mask on.
That's true.
Hey, wait a minute, guys. This should not be, look, I got a problem with this. Look, Paul, the guidance is even if you're vaccinated, you're recommended to wear a mask indoors.
Yeah.
Okay.
In
I
public
said,
places.
that's what I said.
Now in my home, yeah, right. I don't need to wear one in my house by myself. But if I go to church or if I go to this Rotary meeting, I'm wearing a mask.
You can wear a mask if you want. I won't.
Well, I got to tell you, I don't want you putting your opinions on me. Okay. I don't agree with what you're saying at all.
That's fine.
I'm
That's
taking
your
umbrage
opinion.
at it.
That's your opinion.
I
That's
think you're
fine.
wrong. I think you can spread the virus even though you're vaccinated.
Yeah, you
That's
can.
what they say. That's the facts.
Yep.
You need to face the facts, President. I think you
I'm
need to
telling you
lead
right
us.
now, I got vaccinated so I would be immune to the virus. That's why we
No,
got 'em.
Well, we don't need to
I tell
debate
you
this.
what,
But the fact is, you're not immune to the Delta variant. You can
And
get
there
it.
was no point in me getting the virus, getting the
No,
vaccination.
no.
All right. Did everybody get that group study program thing that Diane sent to me that I forwarded on?
Yeah.
Chuck, before we go on to that, let's go back to the 3-club meeting.
Yeah.
What's the status of the other 2 clubs? I mean, is this thing really happening, or are we still just kind of talking from our single club?
I've heard
situation?
only from the Exmoor Club. They are getting the counts. I have not heard from the Hancock Club.
Okay.
I sent messages to their presidents and
No. Randy, you're kind of implying a question that I just thought of that we probably ought to address. Actually, I thought about it last night. But what if it comes time to turn in our count and we only have 15 people that signed up?
Yeah.
What do we do?
Call it off.
What's our cutoff?
Well, when did you tell them they have to have their counts in, Chuck?
17th,
That's our cutoff.
week from today.
No, I meant what's the number?
We should ask Monica.
Oh, the
what her
cutoff
minimum
number.
is. What's Monica's minimum?
Yeah.
Because if nothing else, that would determine the low end of the cutoff anyway. I mean,
Well,
if they can't do it for 30 people, then there you go. There you are. We need to know what. Unfortunately, there are too many variables here to try and kick this thing forward unless we have some specifics. So she needs to be, and I'm sure she can tell us what their minimum requirement is. That also probably affect the individual costs.
And that's probably our cutoff.
So we know that, and if we can't at least meet their minimum with the 3 clubs, then it's a no go.
Well, there's another consideration about the menu too. We've asked for a quote on Top Round, and he's going to buy he has to buy a chunk of round that will feed like 60 people. And if we're gonna have top round, that's what he's gonna have to buy. So, I mean, if we get 30 people, we're gonna have to change the menu at the last minute, I think. Or cancel it.
Yeah,
So you're right, there's a lot of variables. And I think we'll just have to wait and get the count and make some quick decisions at the last minute, but we've got to be prepared to do that.
There's another, I don't even know if it's a consideration, but I think the district governor is obliged to meet with us either,
Zoom.
individually, or by individually, I mean, one club at a time. Yeah, you're right. We might have to reschedule a Zoom meeting for.
I
But
believe
that's-
that's how it was done last year, right? Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a minor consideration. I think if we get Monica's minimum, that'll give us a lot of guidance. And probably have to press harder on the presidents. I know they're probably, once you set the 17th, they're gonna wait until the 17th. But they might be able to give you some kind of a sense of what, from their meetings, some sense of participation. Maybe we could take a straw poll at our meeting today, how many are signing up.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Right now, I believe I have 6 people signed up. That's guests and members.
Not a big number.
No. So, okay. All right. We were talking about that group study program. I've not seen that since I've been a member, but it sounds like something that in the past, the Rotary Club
So
has
Chuck,
done. Go
so
ahead.
Chuck, the group study exchange program is basically no longer.
Oh,
They have a professionals exchange where they, like a group of doctors would come. But as far as I know, I don't think our district, and it's a district thing. It's not an individual club thing. And I don't think our district has had any of that since they made the change about 4 years ago. So
Okay.
it used to be that way. And yeah, she was correct on that, but we just don't do that anymore.
Okay. I kind of thought that was it, but I wanted to check with people that have been in Rotary quite a while. All right, the next item, last thing actually on my list is the Rosenwald School project. I need a little education on that. Where do we fit in and what is it we're going to be doing over the next year for that project? I know
It hasn't been on our radar screen. What causes you to bring it up?
The allocation of funds that we asked for and received and what we're going to do with them.
what?
Rosenwald had
13,000.
nothing to do with that.
$13,500 from the
That's
district.
Mary Ann Smith.
Okay, that's not the Rosenwald School.
No,
I'm sorry. Then I'm really not with it. All right, what about that project then?
oh, it's coming along great. In fact, they're spending money, and I've got the Boys and Girls Club to pay the bills, and because bills are coming in, and then we'll settle up later when our money starts coming in. We won't. Oh, I guess our money's available now.
Well, we have
But-
money available. But we'll have to go from invoices because we'll have to turn those
Yeah,
in.
we're
Next
collecting
month.
all the, we have copies of all the original invoices, even though they're paid by the Boys and Girls Club across the bridge. And then I'd like to just write one check to the Boys and Girls Club with all the invoices attached to it.
As long as that'll be acceptable to district. I guess.
Well,
All right, and again,
I'm assuming it will be.
just for my education, where is this facility?
In Onancock.
Okay. I'm straight now. For some reason, I thought that and the Roosevelt School were all the same thing, just different names.
Well, they're both former black schools during segregation.
Okay, okay. Is there somebody in our club that's heading that up, or we just all kind of combined with the other two clubs, just banging away at it?
Well, the president heads it up. I headed it up
Right.
when I was president. But-
Okay,
But because I have a good relationship with him, I will work with you, Chuck,
all right,
to help you fulfill your role there. But it's going
Alright.
along good. But what we'll have to do is pull together some sweat equity personnel.
sounds good. That's all I had on my agenda. And if anybody else has anything they want to bring up, now's the time.
Baseball. Got a lot of balls in the air. I think it's about time for us to circulate a baseball sign-up sheet, but I don't want to distract from the picnic or the 3-club dinner. It's easy to confuse folks. So let's mention it at the meeting. And I don't give a darn, I might be going by myself. I bought 2 tickets. I won't go by myself.
Yeah,
So I think the board ought to demonstrate some leadership here and buy a baseball ticket. Don't start looking at your shoes and up at the ceiling.
that is
Yeah.
when again? It's August 29th, right?
Yes.
Okay,
So, it's a tough one, Chuck, because we got all this stuff going all at once.
yeah,
But you're a smooth talker.
all right, I'll bring it. I'm not sure of my status on that. I may be able to make that, but I'm still working with my daughter and granddaughter and their trip here. So,
Well, at least you're talking about it. It seems
Yeah.
like our other board members can't even say whether or not they're thinking about it, which is surprising.
Thinking
I
about
just told you this morning I wasn't going to be able to make it.
Oh, yeah, that's except Randy.
okay,
Chuck
but
Chuck
you
and I
know,
have talked
Randy-
about it, Joe. Chuck and I have talked about it, so I've at least mentioned it as well.
Okay.
But I would love to go if I can.
Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, but we
And
shall see.
Paul, what are you saying?
yeah, I've got to talk to Ginger about it.
Yeah, just raise it up a little bit, but first show up at the picnic. And then show up at the 3-cup,
Ginger and I come to the picnic.
yeah, and then baseball. Hot
Bill Graham,
dogs,
you had your hand up.
Yeah, I
dogs
did.
and beer.
I did have my hand up. I attended the district membership foundation and public image seminar last Saturday. And I went to the foundation breakout sessions. This was at Colonial Heritage Country Club in Williamsburg. Just to give you an information on where we stand from last year, from the foundation, we had $7,966.50 that went to the annual fund. That's $221.29 per capita.
Wow.
That was 150% above our goal. Okay. We also had $3,297.10 that went to Polio Plus. So we had a total giving to the foundation of 11,263.60,
That's a record, isn't it, Bill?
probably.
Bill, I'm sorry, repeat that last number again, 11,000 what?
11,263.60. 263.60. It's just adding the other two together.
Right.
We get some sort of
So-
recognition for that?
That is great
Well,
job.
when they had
Bill.
when they had the foundation banquet in November, we will not get the sustaining, because I think we had some people that didn't give $100, but we would get the E-ray. We would get recognized with polio, because there's a pretty good chunk of polio. So
Paul, I thought you said we had E-ray locked.
we have E-ray. We don't have sustaining member.
Oh, okay, okay.
Remember,
Everybody gave $100.
E-ray is everybody has to give at least $25, and
Average.
for a combined per capita of $100. Well, so we met that, but then sustaining is everybody has to give $100.
It probably is because some people resigned during the year. Did they still?
Well, I don't think so. I think didn't we have a couple of people that just did not give $100? They
I
they
thought everybody did,
75.
actually, but I have to
So-
go back and look.
Anyway,
Well, that, yeah,
maybe I may
anyway,
be wrong.
Bill,
I can't. There's no way I can get that information. But you might be able to through the giving.
Yeah.
hey, Bill, of the clubs about our size, around 40 members, we must rank pretty good now, right?
Yeah, we're pretty good.
I don't think people really understand the job that Bill Stram has done year in, year out for
It's-
like as long as I've been around. So Bill, thank you so much.
Well, there were a couple of good tidbits that came out of that. One that I really liked was several clubs. What they do as a new member, as part of their fireside chat is, if I know that Paul and Bill know this, but in reality, when you get a new member in, you're supposed to have his mentor or is supposed to have kind of like a checklist of things that we want that new member to do before they get the new member taken off their badge. All right. So a lot of clubs, what they do is they pay when the member joins, they pay $25. They give them pay $25 to the foundation for them. And then when that new member becomes a member in good standing, they pay the other $75. So that person is a sustaining member for that year. So that's just food for thought. But I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It shows that we care, and that gives the people, a person that, the incentive to, contribute.
Keep it up.
It's just a
Bill,
bookkeeping page, really.
You're saying that a new member isn't prorated. A new member, if they came in the last month of the year, it's still $100 to maintain the sustaining membership. Is that right?
Well, no, because here's the deal on that. They changed that. So what they've done is that if a new member comes in during the course of the year, so like if we had somebody that just joined June 25th, they are exempt from the sustaining member, that's being a sustaining member. So it's what you have on the books on the 30th of June is those people, they count for the next year for sustaining membership.
For the next year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then I
Hey,
guess
Bill.
Paul and I can go back and check, but in looking at dues payments, I can't recall of a situation when someone did not include the TRF as part of their dues payment. There
Well,
was one,
I may be wrong, but I
Yeah.
was just looking at Paul's thing, and unless those people made it up.
there was one
um,
situation where one was $25 short, but then made it up. They
Okay, well, if that's the
misinterpreted
case, then
their
we would get a
dues.
sustaining thing. So,
Okay,
okay, so
we can research it.
Hey, Bill Payne.
Yeah.
Do you have other Paul Harris Award Fund pins?
Got a ton of them.
Okay, I need to get those from you. I have 3. And 2 of the people are signed up for the outside
The picnic.
meeting next week. So you happen to be one and Paul is the other. Rusty
District
Gates is
should
the
send you
third.
those pins.
Rusty Gates is the third. He has not replied to any of the invites yet. I need to get your pins and see if those people are going to be at the 17th meeting so I can award it to them.
What I think I ought to do is just give them all to you,
Yeah,
and you manage getting pins to whenever somebody's available.
all right. Well, we'll do that. Worst case, next Tuesday at the park meeting then. Just bring
Yeah,
it
if we
with-
can give a bunch at the park meeting, it'd be great.
Yeah, okay. All right, I think we've covered everything for the board meeting and we're starting to get some people in for the general meeting. So people who are in the board meeting, if you need to take a little break, now's the time to do it and then we'll get started on the general
Okay,
meeting.
Randy, I'm gonna stop recording now,
Okay.
and then we'll pick up.